Welcome viewer. Welcome to our first TV. Here is the breaking news from Russian YouTuber. Yes, Ukraine says its preparation for a spring counter-offensive are almost complete when it's launched. Probably in the south, it will mark a pivotal moment in the conflict, but the Russians have had nearly 6 months to prepare the ground and build an elaborate array of defense. Breaking through will present a huge challenge. Satellite imagery reviewed by CNN and other news organizations shows the extent of Russian defenses that have been built up in parts of southern Ukraine. Layers of anti-tank ditches, obstacles, minefields and trenches. The defenses continue the hundreds of miles across the meandering southern front, where Ukrainian forces are expected to concentrate their counter-offensive in the coming weeks. The challenge for the Ukrainians will be to bypass or overcome such obstacles at speed, creating momentum that causes Russian command and control to melt down. Several satellite images shared with CNN by Maxar Technology and Tech on Wednesday show extensive trenches east of the town of Polhi in Zaporizhia region. A Reuters analysis of imagery found thousands of defensive positions over a vast area. They showed that Russia's positions are most concentrated near the front lines in the southeastern Zaporizhia region, in the east and across the narrow strip of land connecting the Crimean Peninsula to the rest of Ukraine, according to the Reuters analysis. Russian defenses including, for example, anti-tank ditches near Polet stretching for 30 kilometers 90 miles, as well as extra fortification around important towns like Tokmak. This area will be critical should Ukrainian forces try to advance towards the city of Melitopol and split Russian forces in the south. Maxar Stephen Wood says these defenses are replicated across a huge stretch of territory from Crimea in the south all the way to parts of Donetsk. CNN has previously reported on defensive fortification being built in North Crimea. The Russian appointed head of Crimea, Sergei Aksyonov, said earlier this month that our armed forces have built a modern, deeply equivalent defense. These defenses began to appear after Russian forces withdrew from part of Kherson region in November and essentially established a new defensive line stretching across largely rural areas of southern Ukraine. The UK Defense Ministry said in November that 2 factories were producing concrete Dragon's Teeth tank obstacles. Such defenses, however, are only as good as the force assigned to each sector on their own. They are a limited impediment, which is why the Russians have pushed more units into southern Ukraine. These defensive lines have become critical to their overall goals. Ukrainian officials have frequently relayed accounts from people in occupied areas such as Mariupol and Berdyansk of long Russian convoys passing through and dozens of buildings being appropriated as military accommodation. BN Nazif for Forsak TV.